Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. Well, it's good to be home, back here in my Global Domination headquarters garage. Had a great visit with the family in Alaska. I'm not used to the cold. I grew up in the Midwest in the cold, but I'm not used to it anymore. I've been living in San Diego for too long. So I'm glad to be back in the land of shorts and flip-flops. Yeah. Hey man, it's the end of November. You know, I got my hat on, so at least it's a little bit cold. So I got a lot of stuff to get taken care of here now that I got back. My garage is never really the neatest because a neat and organized garage is definitely a sign of a deranged mind. I like to have things a little bit organized, but man, I got crap everywhere here. My friend moved to the East Coast and he left me with his motorcycle, which I did a little video on a while back. So he is on the East Coast. He left me his motorcycle. I got it going and I got to sell it, and I actually got someone coming over to look at it in about an hour. So while I was gone, I ordered up a battery. I've got it on the charger and it says it's in storage mode, so that means that it is charged. And this is just a cheap Chinese battery. I've actually had pretty fair luck with these. They're about $30, so they're pretty cheap, but sometimes they don't last all that long. He left me this radio as well, and move some crap out of the sheets. So much crap everywhere. Just throw it. He left me this whole helmet intercom system here. So if anyone knows anything about these things, this is like a ham style radio, so I'm gonna have to look into getting my ham radio license. I'd like to get this thing hooked up and try it out. Of course, if I like it, then that means I'm gonna have to get one for everyone else I ride with, or start riding with people with radios. But if you know anything about those, let me know. In the meantime, let's get this battery installed, push this bike out. He left me boxes and boxes full of oil and coolant and tubes and parts and this and that, so I want to get some of this stuff together to go along with this bike, and then some of it's going to stay with me. I've also got this light to install on my scooter. I got a part for my quad I was working on for my buddy, so today we're just going to do some catching up and cleaning up. But let's get this bike ready. I got someone, like I said, coming in an hour, so we'll do that first. Ah, there she is. All right, I'm gonna have to move some stuff here. I got way too much light going on this subject right here, but for now, we're gonna get this side panel off, and there is the battery. And it looks like we need to get one 10mm bolt, a couple of screws, and we'll change that out. I'm gonna move some stuff around first though, because I'd like to get this thing sitting in the garage looking nice, so that when the guy comes to take a look at it, it looks decent too. Easy peasy, got the new battery installed here. And, all right, we got some life. You know, we'll probably need a little bit of choke to get her started, but there you have it. So let me bolt her all back together and have it ready for, hopefully, a possible new prospective buyer. We'll see. All right, so the battery's in the DRZ. I started it up and it's really not running quite right. I went through that carburetor 2 weeks ago, and now I'm concerned I'm gonna have to go through it again. There might have been some crap still in it, but guy said he'll come look at it. I told him that it wasn't running right, but no luck on that one, but I guess we'll see how that turns out. In the meantime, I got this in while I got this right before I went to Alaska, and it goes in here. See, I just have this light kind of hanging in here for now. But it looks like we got to pull this seat box out. But I don't want to pull it all the way out because I'm kind of lazy. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these 4 bolts out and see if I can't lift it just enough to get this light in here. And there's that awesome battery cover I made out of a fender. So let's see if we can't make that thing work. Okay, it appears I'm going to have enough room to get in there, but nothing can ever go exactly right in my garage. So I realized that this thing is not going to work on here, so I'm going to have to make a little washer to go between here and there, and then another one on the back side. So, time to get garage innovative once again. I made this cover out of a air box that I had laying around that was kind of junk. So I've cut another piece off of there to make into some washers. So a little bit of measurement, I'll cut out 2 washers out of this to sandwich between the seat box in there and this light. I ordered this light. It's actually from a Kymco scooter, but it's from a different model. Plugs right in, works fine, but just a little bit different size. So what are you going to do? We got to adapt and overcome in here. So let me draw these out. We'll figure it out. I still have this template I used to make that engine cover. So I put it over the hole on the seat box and rubbed around the edge of it. So that's our inner diameter that our washer needs to be. Or I mean, that's the diameter that the hole that's in there needs to be. This will be our inner diameter, this hole. So I need to make this washer slightly bigger than this. So, I mean, I could get a compass and swing a circle off the center of that, but I like to just kind of look around my garage and look for things that I can use to make a template. So I initially see that, and that's almost the same size as that. Lots of circle things up here. This one, let's check this one out. Now that circle looks like it's probably going to be about the right size. It'll give us a little bit of overlap. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to trace out that circle on here. We'll cut out 2 of those, and then we'll get the inner diameter. We'll cut it out of the center somehow. We'll figure all this out. Okay, you want to see some farm engineering on how to get these things looking a little bit more round? I mean, I could have cut them a little bit closer, but even with that, it's not easy, especially cutting plastic, and then finding the exact center of something that's not exactly round isn't the easiest either. So, I mean, I know I made these a little bit larger than I needed to. So I got an approximate center, drilled some holes in them. Now I'm going to take a bolt, put a washer on it, feed it through that one, feed it through that one, washer on that end, put a nut on this bad boy, tighten the whole mess up, and by mess I do mean mess. There we go. Put that in there. Now I can just put this against a piece of sandpaper, or maybe even against my grinder, and it'll be perfectly round. So let's come back after I get her all done and I'll show you how they look. Not too bad, huh? Now we know that the hole is centered. They're pretty round. So take them all out of that mess. Oops. Anyway, take them all out of there. And we got 2 nice plastic round washers, homemade plastic round washers, by the way, with the holes right in the center. And yeah, they're so, there we go. Not bad, huh? I used a 3/4 inch wood spade bit here drill out the holes in the center of these. Voila, there we go. Now all I gotta do is go fit this whole thing together, and it looks like inside of that seat box there's a little piece of the plastic that comes up, so even though I made these nice and round, I'm probably gonna have to cut a little notch out of this, so I'm gonna go test fit it and we'll find out. And there it is, all installed. Factory fit. So I got that's homemade, that's homemade. As soon as I get a piece of plastic for that, we'll have that one too. This little scooter's getting a lot more attention than it deserves maybe. But it's a good machine. If you watched my video when I detailed it out, you can see how this plastic has kind of faded again. So I bought some new plastic protectant stuff. Let me see if I can find it here before I talk about it. All right, so I bought this stuff here. It's supposed to be pretty good. So I'm gonna try that out on here. We'll see how that looks. Maybe I'll do that for another video because I have a ride planned on this scooter. All right, so return to the garage is doing pretty good. Let me see if I got any more projects I want to work on today. All right, well, surprisingly, the Suzuki started running good after the folks showed up. And there you go. Sold it. Good day. Yeah. It was running crappy when I started it, but then when they showed up, it started running good, and even one of the parts that wasn't working started working. The speedometer, it's a digital speedometer, it didn't work, and then when they showed up, it did. So anyway, it's on its way out. So there you go. Score one for me. Awesome. All right, I feel like I'm on a roll today, and man, it is nice to be home. As much as I absolutely love visiting family and seeing my awesome little granddaughter, it is good to be home. So let's see what else we can fix around here. And I mean, I should be making several videos instead of fixing everything all at once, but I'm feeling good. The weather, it is absolutely gorgeous out today. God, I left 11 degrees yesterday, and it is actually too hot today. So if you had watched any of my videos, and by the way, if you're a new subscriber, thank you very much for watching. I do a variety of things. But I worked on this quad for my buddy, that another one of my karma deals that I got for free. And my friend does a lot of nice things for me, so I help him out as well. Gave him this quad. We took taking his son out to the desert and had a good time. It runs now, but the electric start's not working. And yeah, it did kick my ass a little bit, but we'll see. We'll see if we can figure it out. I mean, right now it's running good. I haven't started it since I've been back, but it should start up in a couple pulls. In fact, maybe I'll do that off camera here so I don't look like a clown. But I went online and I ordered up a new start solenoid because they had these available for like $4. And it's probably a Chinese cheap one, but for $4, I'm willing to take a chance that this is a good possibility that this is what's wrong with the thing. So for $4, we'll change it out and give it a try. I mean, that's like less than one beer on an airplane trip. I know that for a fact. So let's put this in. I'm going to start it and make sure that it still runs here. And then we'll install this and we'll see if it helps. It's pretty easy to change out a starter solenoid. Just unplug this plug, take off these two. One goes to the battery, one goes to the starter. And then just tighten them back up. They're 10 millimeter. Now you don't want to touch a metal implement across these two because that will cause some sparks and your engine will turn over. Oh yeah, and off camera, of course, like I said, I started this thing. It started in one pull. Yeah, I can't back that up. Ooh, see that? I touched across there. Man, I jumped right on camera. But yeah, it started up in one pull, so I can't verify that. That's my bust for not wanting to look like a jackass. So I look like a jackass bumping across those after I said not to do it. So one way or another, I always end up looking like a jackass. I guess I'm good at that. And we got these little rubber connectors that would prevent you from looking like a jackass if you put them on there. I'm just trying to see how many times I can say jackass on this video. Brought to you by Jackass, the movie. Okay, let's turn this thing on. Still no go. So if we thought that was the issue, that wasn't the issue. Something is triggering this start relay that is buried in here somewhere. Let's see where the hell that thing is even at. Oh, there it is. Something is triggering that starter relay. Hear it clicking? That thing shouldn't click until I press this starter button. So I don't know what's causing it. I've tracked the wiring back a little bit. I peeled some of the insulation off and I tracked it back trying to see if anything was shorted out. I didn't find anything there. I tested this starter switch. I unplugged it up underneath here, and yes, we get continuity when we press that thing. So I'm not sure if this is bad and that's why this thing is triggering. That doesn't really make any sense, but the starter does work, obviously, as you heard when I accidentally touched that against there after I just said not to do it. Yeah, and I work in my garage every day. What a clown. Oh wait, Jackass. I forgot what movie we were sponsored by. Jackass, the movie. See it on Netflix. I don't have sponsors. I don't even have 300 subscribers yet. Thank you for those of you who do watch, though, and I hope I can bring you some amusement. All right, so for $4, it was worth a shot. I did have an issue with one of these before, so now I have a spare one to put into my collection of goodies. So we will put that in there and move on to the next project. Okay, all in all, it's been a pretty good day. And you know, it's still early, so there's more to happen, but I think I got enough on the video. I've been kind of all over the place today, enjoying it. Cleared up a little bit of my workbench here. A little bit. Yeah, when my buddy brought over that bike, he brought me all kinds of stuff here, so I get all this stuff I gotta kind of clear up. But look, there's a little bit of room. We even got some work done. But I appreciate you sticking around, enjoying some time in the garage with me. And make sure you stay tuned after I say adios on this video, because I'm adding about a minute of additional footage at the end here that I think that y'all may get a kick out of. So thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure. Adios.